Hello, my name is Collection Connoisseur. I collect digital thingamabobs and video games, and yesterday I played Hollow Knight. This video will be a summary of things I have done in my two on-the-side save files. I've got a speedrun save file and a Steel Soul save file. For the speedrun, I'll be covering what I did in that save file after defeating the Hollow Knight. There is a whole mess of links in the description of this video, pointing you to my live stream speedrun and my live streamed series for my Steel Soul run. One run, but it did take me several streams. If you'd like to watch those, please do. This video will be a spoiler for all of those. Showing on the screen now is footage from my speedrun save file. That save file ended up being the source of several new achievements, some that I expected, and some that I didn't or wasn't sure about. But let's start talking about where I was at the end of the speedrun. I had defeated the Hollow Knight in just over 2 hours. That earned me the Speedrun 1 and Speedrun 2 achievements. The main reason to continue that save file was a third speedrun achievement, Speedrun Completion, which is earned by beating the game with a completion of 100% or more in less than 20 hours. 20 hours is a long time. That is an incredible amount of breathing room that I could use to do other things. My first plan was to collect some things that I like using that I hadn't collected in the speedrun proper. That includes the Fragile Strength Charm, several charm notches, some more mask shards, the Tram Pass, the Shade Cloak, and of course, the Pure Nail. The Pure Nail is what I focused on, so I prioritized going places where I knew I could find pale ore that I could then give to the nailsmith to upgrade my nail. Pale ore is found at the top of the Crystal Peak, from defeating Nosk in the Deep Nest, which is also close-ish to where one can find the Tram Pass, so I did that while I was there. In the Ancient Basin, which brings me close to a fountain where I can buy a vessel fragment. From defeating the Trial of the Conqueror in Kingdom's Edge at the Colosseum of Fools, which requires, by the way, defeating the Trial of the Warrior, which awards a charm notch. And it is also very close to a simple key that you get from fighting a vagabond. One of the pale ores is given by the Moth Seer for collecting essence. You get that primarily by defeating ghosts and Dreamland hard version of bosses across the world. And finally, one is given for rescuing a lot of grubs. Basically, collecting pale ore sent me all over the map. Or at least all over the right side of the map. Or is that the east side? And the left is the west side? Up on the map is not north, it's up. Maybe the left side is north and the right side is south. So collecting ore sent me all over the south side of the map, but not so much the north side. I went through the Deep Nest, but not so much the Fog Canyon, the Queen's Gardens, the Green Path, nor the Howling Cliffs. The reason this is relevant is that I got the Pure Nail before going back through the Green Path. But before I go there, let me remind you of the 4 things I plan to do differently in my speedrun save file than I did in my primary save file. Number 1. Don't save Zote. Number 2. Don't kill the nailsmith. Number 3. Get the 4th Grim Flame. And number 4. Explore the Blueface room in the Abyss. So after I got the Pure Nail, the nailsmith asked me to strike him down with it, and I refused. Because what monster would do that, really? Who would, upon receiving the Pure Nail, kill the craftsman who made it? Only someone with the blackest of hearts. So after valiantly ignoring the nailsmith's request, I went back to check on him later, and I found his hut empty and no one in the immediate vicinity. Not long after, I was checking things off in the Green Path and went to see Shio to unlock the Great Slash. And then I left Shio's hut, saved at the bench, and went back in Shio's hut. And look at that! The nailsmith is there. Quick aside, If you are a collector of things in video games like I am, if you meet a character much later in the story of the game than you were supposed to, always leave the room and go back in. You are likely to get new dialogue, a new shiny thing, or as in this case, a new achievement. I got the Happy Couple achievement because Shio and the Nailsmith found each other, both retired from their respective professions, forging a new way of life. Or in the Nailsmith's case, no longer forging for life. After wishing them both a happy life, I went on and explored the rest of the Green Path, including visiting the place that Zote the Mighty met his match. His weapon Life Ender embedded close by in the rock. Apparently, to earn the Neglect achievement, you not only have to let Zote die, you also have to go visit his corpse and desecrate it? I basically knocked his head away from his body. So all of those good person points that I just earned by rescuing the Nailsmith from myself are lost here on this grave of Zote the Mighty. I mentioned the fourth Grim Flame. The way this works is you start the Grim ritual by striking these burning coals and starting a ritual fire. Then you meet the Grim and he sends you out to collect 3 flames. You return with those, and then he sends you out to collect 3 flames. You return with those. He fights you, and then he sends you out to collect 3 flames. On this third quest for flames, there are not 3 flames on the map, there are 4. I never went to that 4th flame in my primary save file, so I did this time, and here is what I saw. Brum is here. You came. The red flame I've gathered from this dead kingdom, you would claim it, for our master, for his final act. The ritual plays itself out once more. We are like the notes in an old song, you and me. Endless repeating songs of sacrifice, of servitude, for the ritual, for the troop, for the master. Even this child was born into invisible chains. So we serve. Thus it has ever been, yes. Take the flame then. It is why you came. It is done. And yet. It is not merely by fortune that we meet here, in the darkest, furthest reaches of the world, where my master's scarlet eyes cannot see us. A song that never ends is no song at all. You take part in the ritual, yet I sense you truly have no master. Is it so? Perhaps together we can banish that livid flame, and let this dead kingdom rest in peace. If you wish to silence the endless song, meet me where it began. But if you return to the master and complete the ritual, as long as you do it without regret, I will bear you no hatred. So what I did next was scramble up to the Howling Cliffs. After going around the Deep Nest for a little bit, collecting some charms and things I hadn't picked up yet from various locales. But I did go back to the Howling Cliffs, and saw Brum once again for another secret meeting. So you followed me here to where the ritual began. You would join me in breaking it then. It is painful to defy the master, but our harvest, it profanes this dark, quiet kingdom. This once I would see the ritual fail. Now let us destroy the anchor and banish the master. Never shall he return here again. And together we destroyed the ritual fire that I had once lit. This earned me the Banishment achievement. Instead of finishing the ritual by fighting the Nightmare King Grim, I had banished them from the kingdom of Hollownest. Banished to from whence they came. Of course, what I did next was travel back to Dirtmouth to see the results of my actions. And when I got there, this is what I saw. Aha, good riddance. That creepy carnival has vanished, and town's returned to its former self. Nice and quiet as I like it. And we've gained a new addition to the square. I found the fellow just outside of town. Seemed a little confused at first. Claims to be from far away, though he's hazy on the details. Whatever his past, he's a rather good musician. Oh, hello. I'm new around these parts, so it's marvelous to find so friendly a face in such a sad town. The old bug over there was very welcoming, but I still find the place a little melancholy, what with the wind and the darkness and the sense of decline. And now you've arrived. Before you hurry about your business, I've a small gift to commemorate our meeting. Please enjoy it. My dear friend, are you enjoying my music? It's as upbeat a tune as I know. Please know I play it with joy. Being in this town, I feel remarkably, refreshingly content. Why did I choose to travel here, and how far must I have come to forget the origin entirely? So I ended up meeting a new character. A newish character. And I got a new charm, the Carefree Melody, which looks like a replacement for the Grimchild charm, which I understandably lost by banishing the Grim. The last of my 4 things to do differently in the speedrun save file was to fully explore the Blueface room in the Abyss. This is a room with a charm in it, in which once you grab the charm, you are expelled from the room and can no longer enter. This made me sad in my primary save file because there were 2 places in the Blueface room that I hadn't explored. In one of those 2, I found more spikes, and that's it. In the other, I found some blue mist. That also sends you outside, but at least this time doesn't lock the door. So once I went back and got past the blue mist, I found an arcane egg, which means I have now found and collected a total of 4 arcane eggs in Hollow Knight. Finally, I reached over 100% completion in this save file. By the way, never having gone back through the Royal Waterways. There's a fairly large section or 2 of the Royal Waterways that I never visited because I just never had a reason to go there. Anyway, 100% completion means that I fought the Hollow Knight to finish off this save file. And I ended up fighting the Radiants, because why not? After the credits roll, I received the Speedrun Completion achievement for completing the game with 102% completion in just over 12 hours. That beats my personal best by about 29 hours. Overall, I got 4 new achievements in this run, 6 if you include Speedrun 1 and Speedrun 2 achievements. Anyway, on to the next save file, Steel Soul Mode. Now, Steel Soul Mode is something that you can activate when starting a save file, and it makes it so that if you die, you have to start over from the beginning of the game. It's a deathless challenge for beating Hollow Knight without dying. There are 2 in-game achievements related to this mode. Steel Soul for beating the game, and Steel Heart for beating the game with 100% completion. I, of course, planned to acquire both of those achievements at the same time. Playing through Steel Soul is a lot like just playing the game. However, there are a few things I did differently. 1, I was always very careful. I focused on life and damage upgrades, and mostly didn't attempt any optional bosses or fights until I was very confident that I had powered up enough to take on that fight. 2, I didn't save at benches very often. If you can't die, there is no reason to save your game. It'll just get erased anyway. Also, when you rest at benches, you lose blue faces, which are nice to have. I thought that I would care a lot more about blue faces on Steel Soul, but I found that even then, they are just nice to have. Still, I didn't want to lose them by randomly resting at a bench. There are really only 2 benefits that cause me to sometimes use benches. It updates my map, and I can change out which charms I'm wearing. 3, I sold collectibles to Lem. I know, it is heresy. Collection connoisseur sells his collectibles. What has the world come to? But you see, this little Bug Knight, the Steel Soul Bug Knight, his life is short, and he needs that money now. 4. I wore fragile charms a lot. The downside to fragile charms, what makes them fragile, is not an issue on Steel Soul, because your life is also fragile. 5. I used spells a lot more. That was mainly due to the encouragement of my viewers, and it was nice. Spells do a good amount of damage. I fought the Mantis Lords about an hour and a half into the run, and just like the Hornet, the Mantis Lords brought me down to 3 health. I went through the King's Pass, the Forgotten Crossroads, the Green Path, and much of Fungal Wastes without ever losing more than 2 health. My run was going swimmingly thus far. I also ended up beating the Soul Master in the City of Tears without much trouble, and I started collecting enough money to buy several things from various shops. I decided to add a little spice to the run and fight the Brooding Malik. I call this adding spice because the Brooding Malik is optional, so you can put it off for a while. It does give a Mask Shard as a reward, so you want to go to fight him sometime. But this is earlier than I would have planned to fight him in Steel Soul run. And it did deal me 2 damage, the closest to death I've come so far, but also went down without too much danger. The next bit to show is something new that I've only experienced in this save file. When I came to talk to Mila here, I got new dialogue. Bury my body, cover my shell, what meaning in darkness, yet here I remain. I'll wait here forever, till light blooms again. Bury, body, cover, shell, darkness, no meaning, dangerous, still remain, light, again. My guess is that this dialogue represents Mila succumbing to the infection that has spread to the crossroads. In my original save file, I saw Mila before this, and she was singing the same or a similar depressing song, but she was much more lucid. Then I saw Mila later, and she immediately attacked me. This dialogue is what I was missing between those 2 interactions. Anyway, let's fast forward to some danger in the run, and for that we go 2.5 hours in to the Crystal Peak. And if you're thinking the Crystal Guardian boss fight, you are wrong. It's these Crushers. At this point in the run, I've had to heal myself a few times, I have no soul to heal, and the Crushers knock me down to 3 health. Then, before I get enough soul to heal, I take 1 more damage, meaning I go down to 2 health for the first time. Still, you may not be very concerned for my life yet, so let's fast forward a little more. See how I took some damage and have no soul to heal? I then go straight into this challenge room and zip to a place that I can't get out of safely. By going not to just this island, but also to the next island. I then take 2 damage, failing to make the next dash across, and then repeat that. At this point, I had a real chance to die and lose the run. I could either go forward, potentially taking 2 more damage like I have the past 2 times, or I could go backward, which is a dash that I still have to time well, or I might take 2 damage and die. I choose to go backward, and survived. That's about 2 hours, 45 minutes into the run, and was honestly dangerously close to death. That's not the only time I came close to death, and the next one was the scariest for me personally. About 3.5 hours into the run, I used the elegant key in the City of Tears, which enters a room to fight with a Soul Warrior. Let's watch with my live commentary. This is an upgraded version of this enemy where he has the little folly enemies coming around. Whoa. Okay, that was my batteries dying in my controller, and I quickly hit the escape button. So, let's replace batteries in my controller before moving on. Great, I am back. Now, last time this happened to me, during a run, the batteries that I put in were not great, and so I'm going to be a little bit worried, and be ready to hit the escape button again. This enemy is not one that I can reasonably heal, which is sort of a problem, because I would love to heal. Gosh. Ho-ho. Barely survived that. There we go. Well, that was the closest this run came to ending so far. But it did not end. Have to admit that my heart is racing a little bit after that. So far, the most dangerous things in my Steel Soul run have been crushers in the Crystal Peak, lasers in the Crystal Peak, and my controller batteries. All of those I would call environmental dangers. At about 4.5 hours into the run, I fought through the Watcher Knights without much trouble, and I broke the first seal on the Black Egg. And then, not long after, when I found my way back to Dirtmouth, I met a new character. Another character which I've never met before in my 70-ish hours playing Hollow Knight. Does Jin dream what purpose mine to serve enough? Ho-ho! Steel Soul Jin. This is a different character. Is it, here, waking Jin? Observed, small, dull, no soul, long shadow. It is blank, but brave. Does it bring offering? Jin has only many small, shiny things, useless to Jin, but will trade for wonderful gift. Would it offer gift, so wonderful to Jin? I will give Jin a rancid egg. Gift is horrible gift. Disgusting. But Jin knows one who appreciates. Friend of Jin, eats nasties, loves nasties, shall accept, shall provide. Shinies for tiny it, good to give shinies, less burden for Jin. Oh, we got money. Ho-ho, I like money. I will give you a rancid egg. Another horrible, disgusting gift. Jin will keep gift for friend of Jin, and it shall have shinies. That is trade. Also, I directly asked my stream viewers what the purpose of rancid eggs were in Hollow Knight, and learned that they are used with GG to recover your shadow after you've died. Since I had never used GG services, I had never learned why I was collecting so many rancid eggs. So there you go, and here is the replacement for GG in Steel Soul mode. A problem, it did not bring the gift Jin wants. No trade can occur. None. Will it seek out the gift Jin wants? The horrible, round, disgusting gift? Will it return? Jin will be waiting. Jin is also not the only new thing I discovered in my Steel Soul run. While I was in the resting grounds, just going around collecting things, I did something that I've never done before. I hit this statue with the dream nail from the little curious nearby platform. My immediate thought was, oh no, I hope I haven't just discovered a battle that I've never fought before in my Steel Soul run. Luckily not. The resting grounds are not the place for battles. Instead, it was a new area named the Shrine of Believers. I didn't explore it much. I intend to go back here in my primary save file in a future episode. Next, I went around the world, focusing on collecting pale ore so that I could upgrade my nail to the maximum level, the pure nail. On the way, I fought Elder Hu, Nosk, Galleon, the Hive Knight, the Hornet, Markoth, a Vagabond with a simple key, and both the Trial of the Warrior and the Trial of the Conqueror. On the screen, I'm showing the Markoth battle because of those, it is the one that gave me the most trouble. At the time, my viewers were telling me to use the up spell, the Howling Wraiths, to deal damage to Markoth, which is excellent advice with the simple problem that I hadn't acquired the Howling Wraiths yet, because I hadn't gone through the Fog Canyon. But Markoth went down just like the other 8 battles that I have just skipped. As you've no doubt figured out by now, environmental dangers are much more likely to kill me than battles. So let's watch as once again, I almost die and lose the run due to the environment. This is about 8.5 hours into my Steel Soul run, and I'm going through this dangerous room in the Fog Canyon, filled with little exploding bubbles that deal me 2 damage if I touch them, or hit them with my nail. I barely make it through to the end of this room and collect the charm notch inside the final bubble. And I learned a new thing about Hollow Knight that I've never noticed before. When you collect charm notches, you get a full heal, just like resting on a bench. I don't know why that little healing mechanic is in the game, but it helped me out here. Also, one of my viewers informed me afterward that that room is actually really easy if you just use the down spell to crash through a bunch of the exploding bubbles, because you don't get hurt when you do that, which would have been an excellent strategy for me to have employed. But what I did was a lot more exciting. And while I was in the Fog Canyon, I went to the Teacher's Archives, fought Umu, and broke the 2nd seal on the Black Egg. I'm now actually near the end of the game in Steel Soul mode. I haven't died, and I've been racking up completion percentage. After finally collecting the last pale ore, I went back to the nailsmith, upgraded to the pure nail, and did not kill the nailsmith. Which means this is my first save file in which both Zote and the nailsmith survive. However, my character, the little bug knight, will not. Which means in each of my 3 save files, exactly 1 of the nailsmith, Zote, and the bug knight dies for good. In this save file, I'm the one who dies. I went through the Queen's Gardens and again into the Deep Nest. I fought Marmu, the Traitor Lord, and a bunch of Stalking Devouts. Perhaps the most dangerous of those 3 are the Stalking Devouts. And I broke the final seal on the Black Egg. Now the only things left are getting to 100% completion, including getting the last Mask Shard, and facing off against the Hollow Knight. The last Mask Shard required me to complete the Grey Mourner's quest, in which I have to deliver a delicate flower across the land while never getting hit. Remember when I did that in my primary save file and I made it through on the first try? I did not do that again. I did much worse. I think it took me 4 tries to deliver the delicate flower and finally claim the Mask Shard, but once I did, I went straight in against the Hollow Knight. Let's watch with my live commentary. Blue faces are worse than regular faces, it's true. But they are something. They give me a couple more mistakes that I could make. Although, one of the options is to just not make mistakes. Oop, made a mistake. Oh well, so much for that option. Can't see what he's doing. Not seeing what he's doing is one of the possible dangers. Getting a ton of hits there. Okay, dodge these. He's hitting himself. Wonderful. Glad that he's contributing to my victory. And then just a few... Oh, I dodged into him. I did end up losing both of my blue faces. Bring it in. Bring it all in. And there we go. You've played skillfully and proved that you have a steel soul. Thank you for taking the time to explore and conquer the world we built. We'll meet again soon with a new challenge for you. I got Steel Soul and Steel Heart. Amusingly, that time was faster than my speed completion, so my new personal best for speed completion is 10 hours and 51 minutes, which is also my personal best for Steel Heart and Steel Soul. But I didn't stop there. My plan was to keep playing until I died. I started my post-victory lap with the failed champion, then Grey Prince Zote, just the first level, then the Lost Kin, then the Soul Tyrant, then the White Defender, again just the first level, and then the Trial of the Fool. I was more worried about the Trial of the Fool than the rest of those, and now is a good time to mention something about Steel Soul mode that I suspected but didn't know. If you die in the dream world, it doesn't count as a death. It doesn't end your run. But I was having none of that technicality. I told my viewers that I am playing Steel Soul Mode Plus, where if I die in the dream world, I have to go to the menu and delete my own save file. After the Trial of the Fool, I decided to up the challenge significantly and go into a battle that could easily kill me and end my run. I went to fight the Radiance. This is about 13 hours into my Steel Soul run. Let's watch with my live commentary. I challenge the sun. The Radiance. Alright, the main lesson here is to try not to get hit. Don't worry about dealing him damage. Worry about not getting hit. I will deal him damage in time. Cannot stop a hit. Or I cannot recover from a hit very easily. Oh gosh. I got hit by the sword. Can I heal? This is not a place to heal. Don't think about healing. Okay, that's not too bad. Actually, could have been a place where I healed. Just dodging. Ooh, got hit by a sword again. Alright, I don't like the spells. The spells are dangerous. Got him. Alright. Heal up while we can. Heal up again. And now we are at the more challenging terrain, but the same fight. I want to be generally in the center, and I want to be able to see what he's doing. Like that. I got hit by those swords because I couldn't see that they were coming. Heal once. Oh, don't heal. Never mind. Okay. Go for safety. Heal once. One heal is actually very good, because all of his hits do 2 damage. There was something I was trying to say there, but I realized it was wrong halfway through, because I have an odd number of health. So one heal doesn't do anything for me. Okay. The spells are dangerous. Don't like the spells. Where is he? Oh, we got to the next phase. Great. Just have to not get hit here, and we'll be perfectly fine. Got him! Go! Now I need to shed my form and strike with my new tangled arms. After this, there isn't much left in the game that could kill me, so I decided to go into the God Home and play through Pantheons, but a viewer pointed out that I hadn't fought the Troopmaster Grimm yet, meaning that the third Pantheon would remain locked until I had. Also, I believe the fourth Pantheon requires me to have beaten the Nightmare King Grimm. So after beating the first Pantheon, I left and sought out the Grimm. Here's my fight with the Grimm. Dance with me, my friend. The crowd awaits. Show them you are worthy of a starring role. Bow. So, gotta remember all the moves. The uppercut. The uppercut is the worst move. That's no problem. So far he hasn't done the uppercut, so pretty well off so far. The blimp. I like the blimp. The blimp is hard enough that you have to think about it the whole time. Alright, the uppercut. Beware the uppercut. Ho ho, I stopped him in the middle of his next uppercut. Very nice. Here's another blimp. Next. Next is the same. It's just beware the uppercut. He did hit me with the uppercut. Let's heal once. Shoot him. Oh man, the uppercut. I got hit by the uppercut move again. But we are at another Grimm. Another blimp, I mean. Next, heal once. And continue. Great. Uppercut, be careful. Alright. It's another uppercut. I think he's started to learn that the uppercut is his dangerous move, but not in time. And bow, because it was a wonderful performance. Next is the Nightmare King Grimm, but that requires me to first go around the world and collect 3 more Grimm Flames from these Nightmare Grimms. They are a lot more dangerous than their younger Grimm cousins, but still, I have no excuse for how incredibly close this fight came to killing me. But I did collect all 3, so I could face off against the Grimm once more. Let's see it with live commentary. Alright. Remember, he does 2 damage, so healing is not always a good option. Ho ho! The uppercut dealt me damage immediately. And that one too. Okay, gotta get back in the swing. Oh, I thought he only did 3 flames. That was dumb. Heal once. And then dash through that. Holy cow, alright. Might die here. Heal once. This is a good time to heal. Oh darn. Heal once. Made it to the first blimp. Uppercut. Uppercut's very dangerous. That's not very dangerous if you notice that it's coming. Alright, heal once. Don't go too far into the corner. Gotta be able to heal once. There we go. Heal once. Wonderful. Getting back into it. Oh gosh. Got hit by that. Ho ho, he shot 2 there. Didn't know he would do that. Oh gosh, no, no, no. I wasted my heal opportunity and got hit instead. Alright, this battle is a hard one. Oh ho, almost got hit there. Did get hit there, that was a terrible heal. And death. Alright. That was the run. Now I realize that in Steel Soul mode, the fact that I died within the dreamland means that I didn't actually die. But I'm not just playing Steel Soul mode. I'm playing Steel Soul mode plus Platinum Soul mode, which means after I die, what I do is I delete my save. If I hadn't died to the Nightmare King Grimm, I would have gone back to the God Home, and surely have died in one of the Pantheons. Over the course of these 2 runs, I met 2 new characters, Nim, after banishing the Grimm, who gave me the new charm, the Carefree Melody, and I met Steel Soul Jin, the replacement for Gigi in Steel Soul mode. I encountered a new area, the Shrine of Believers. I collected 1 more arcane egg than I have before, and I got 6 new achievements, leaving only 1 left to collect. I've got a link to a tracking sheet in my video description. New episodes every Sunday, and thanks for watching.